It has been 11 weeks since Baltimore County's first confirmed case of COVID-19. In less than 3 months, our entire way of life has changed. Maryland and Baltimore County have taken extraordinary steps to keep our residents safe. We've declared states of emergency, closed our schools, and limited large gatherings. Collectively, we've worked to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities. This has been difficult for all of us, but it has been necessary. We've lost 304 of our residents to this deadly virus. Each and every loss has been a tragic one. But make no mistake, if we hadn't taken these steps, the toll would be much worse than it is today. And I want to be very, very clear. While there are signs that we are flattening the curve, the virus is still here. It will take more lives, more people will become sick, and more families will lose loved ones. Our most vulnerable residents should continue to stay home. If you are high risk, someone over 65 or with a chronic health condition, the best thing you can do for your health and safety is to stay home as much as possible. If you live with or regularly come into contact with someone at high risk, you should also stay home as much as possible. Over the last 2 weeks, we've taken incremental steps toward reopening. We've also made considerable progress in standing up the infrastructure necessary to battle this virus. We have significantly increased access to testing. Any county resident can now receive a test without a doctor's order. And our positivity rate is now at 11.7%, which is lower than the state, and an important indicator which we will continue to watch closely. We are stockpiling PPE for our employees and our nursing homes, and we are hiring and onboarding more contact tracers. Each of these plays a critical role in our response to the pandemic. There is currently no cure for COVID-19, and without a vaccine, we will not be able to eliminate this virus from our communities. But through our efforts, we can better detect the virus and respond to it quickly, limiting its spread. Today, I'm announcing that Baltimore County is ready to align with the state's Phase 1 steps. This means that starting 5 p.m. tomorrow, restaurants already permitted for outdoor seating can open as long as they follow the state's guidelines and restrictions. To help ensure other county restaurants can open as quickly and safely as possible, they can go online tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to apply for outdoor seating on premises of their establishments. We will conditionally approve all applications upon submission until further notice. Meanwhile, we're actively exploring other opportunities for outdoor dining and will continue to work with communities to identify alternative models, including street closures and other outdoor public spaces. I'd like to take a moment to thank our employees who are working around the clock to proactively prepare for the state's decisions on reopening. Decisions we typically learn about as the public learns about them. Also, thanks to our advocacy, I'm pleased to announce that our beloved Benji's Drive-In, a Baltimore County and Maryland institution, may reopen. Pools and day camps are also permitted to open. Each establishment will be required to follow the state's requirements and guidelines for social distancing, sanitation, and PPE. In addition, today I'm announcing that effective 5 p.m. tomorrow, we are aligning Baltimore County's requirements with state requirements for retail, barbershops, hair salons, and houses of worship. This means that these establishments may open with up to 50% of occupancy, and all requirements for social distancing and face coverings must be followed. As a person of faith, I'd like to take a moment to address houses of worship particularly. We know that large, sustained gatherings, particularly where there is chanting or singing, poses higher risks. There have been documented cases of transmission in houses of worship where people were in close quarters and singing or praying together. In Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, he writes, "Everything is permitted, but everything isn't beneficial. Everything is permitted, but everything doesn't build up others." And so even though the county will no longer be restricting these services, I encourage all faith leaders to be prayerful about if, how, and when they choose to resume larger in-person services. We know the safest thing we can do is to continue virtual services and drive-in services. We also know that outdoor services remain safer than indoor services. And to help support houses of worship conducting outdoor services, we will be opening up more public spaces for worship soon, and we will be sharing details on that in the coming days. As I've said, a patchwork approach to reopening creates confusion for our residents. It puts businesses on different playing fields, and it is much less effective from a public health perspective. By aligning with the state's current guidelines, we reduce confusion and can focus on reminding residents that every activity carries some level of risk. We should all continue to stay vigilant by maintaining 6 feet of distance from others and wearing masks in public spaces. We will continue to monitor the situation closely in the coming days and weeks. If we see signs that these new steps are having a negative effect, we will not hesitate to reconsider in order to protect the public's health. And while we are aligning with the state today, Baltimore County will continue to make decisions in the future based on the best information available and based on what is in the best interests of our residents. Continuing our gradual reopening should not be seen as a sign that we are ready to return to lives as we knew it before COVID-19. Please continue to stay home whenever possible. If you must go out, wear a mask and keep 6 feet of distance from others. If you're older or have underlying health conditions, you are at higher risk, and you should take every step to protect yourself and those you care about. This is a crisis the likes of which we've never seen. It requires all of us to do our part. If you are in need of assistance, we are here for you in Baltimore County. Visit our website to learn more information about resources available. Take care of yourselves, your loved ones, and your neighbors. Thank you, Baltimore County, for doing your part to help us weather this storm. We will get through this together.
All right, thank you.
Good. Thanks, everybody.
John, what about the shopping malls? Is that being considered at this point? You said some retail. Can you talk to us about what that means and what will customers be allowed to do?
So pursuant with being in alignment with the state on phase one, retail establishments that are on the exterior of malls and have a separate entrance will be able to come online at the 50% level.
Okay. Cool.
Very good. Thanks.